Hi, everyone. My name is Candace Morris, and I am the Director of Membership over here at AIME. And today we are going to have a great conversation about all things Spark. I am with Flavia Benson, Fannie Mae West, and Julie Harris, and they're going to walk us through their experience and just really teach us more about what made them want to become broker owners in the first place, how the program has been, and just what success looks like right now. So before we get started, I would just want to introduce everyone and let you kind of share with us your experience and what brought you to Spark in the beginning. So, Flavia, we're actually going to start with you. If you could tell us a little bit more about yourself, why you joined Spark, and just your background in the industry so far.
Absolutely. Thank you, Candace. I'm Flavia Benson. I'm founder of Dovetail Mortgage, and we actually have been now open for a full month, a little bit over, so it's very exciting. And I know, and to tell you a little bit about my background, I was born and raised in Brazil. I moved to the US in 1996 to attend college. I met my wonderful husband in my last year of college and ended up staying, not going back to Brazil. I went to law school and I was a residential real estate attorney for 12 years, where, believe it or not, I started a little bit of my mortgage broker background working in quality assurance during a summer while I was in law school for a broker. And then I followed that working in residential real estate for quite some time, and I left the industry, I believe it was 2013, and I started working for national banks on the wholesale side. And I did that for a few years. I wasn't that happy with how some of the things were going in terms of how we could interact with our borrowers and give them, accurate information and timely information. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to leave the industry. And I did. I left the industry for 5 years. I went into infection prevention, a completely different industry. And I did that until December of 2020, when I was kind of burnt out, honestly, from that industry and having worked so crazy during the pandemic. And I started talking with colleagues and former colleagues and attorneys and people that were back in the broker world. And I started hearing all of these amazing things that were going on in the broker world. And I'm like, okay, this sounds interesting. Maybe it's time to get back into that and help out borrowers. And then one of my former colleagues, who is actually a broker now, told me about Spark. And I'm going to go take a look at this. And I looked into it and I researched and I looked at the whole grant, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to open a brokerage. I'm a woman. I'm in this industry. I know this is a male-dominated industry. This would be really exciting. And so I honestly went for it. I applied, and I was pleasantly surprised that I was one of the recipients of the Spark grant. I was so excited, you can't even imagine. And the best part of the whole thing, to be honest, was really the Spark Leadership Academy. And just, again, briefly just say it was just incredible to have been a part of that group. And I know we're going to get into more details later, but that was the best part of the whole thing.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us, and welcome to the Wholesale channel. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Julie, I'm going to pass it over to you. If you could just give us some background into what brought you into the mortgage industry up to this point.
Hi. So my parents were realtors. I was born and raised in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And at a very early age, actually like 9 years old, I started typing sales agreements for my dad. So I was a product of the 80s. So I started with my career in one of the first recessions. And from there, I just really loved, my parents always talked about real estate at the table and really learning how you made a difference in people's life for such a big thing. And so it's an incredible way just to help people. And so from there, started college, minor in real estate, accounting, and then business management, and got a job at a title company in 1991. And so there was a huge refi boom and started working. And the next thing you know, I was doing closings, and I loved my first time home buyers, like just wanted to kind of eat them up. It's way back when you didn't have like a camera phone, a phone on your camera, but you you'd have a lot of times clients would bring in a camera, like the disc cameras or something. So I'm kind of dating myself a little bit, but it was super exciting. And I realized I wanted to be more than just that 1 hour at the closing table with the client. Like I wanted to walk all the way through the process from the beginning to the end. And so in 1997, I took a job with a bank and went through a loan officer university. It was a really cool 6-week program. And started my career. And from there, just doing all the things you're supposed to do, like help people, first-time home buyers, and being in the right kind of programs to say, we're here to help and make a difference with getting that dream of home ownership started. So from there, my career, I've worked for banks. I was a previous senior vice president for Washington Mutual, and I managed all of Idaho. I had 30 loan officers, which was kind of crazy, but fun. And I've kind of run every channel from, working for a mortgage company or a bank or what have you, to now just going, I want to take care of myself. And I realized I was at a point in my career where I was like, if I don't take a chance and do this and open up my own company, I'll always wonder. And so truly just learning about the Spark program, literally, like, I'm a dork, but I love it. It sparked in me something that went, wait a minute, I'm always focused on doing a really great job for a different company, or, trying to be the very best supportive employee, to going, I want to go back into management and mentoring and help people get into this career, but also have a lot more opportunities to help, with where my money and my efforts go as far as supporting programs and what have you. So anyway, learned about the Spark program and thought I missed the opportunity last fall. Obviously, everybody was pretty much in the trenches with refinances and loans. And I was super excited when I was making my goals at the end of the year for this year to see it come back up and go, I'm going to go for it. And so here I am, and I opened in March, and we're doing really, really well. So I'm kind of a unique person. I love my first-time home buyers too. I just want to take them home with me, and I want to help them move and everything. And then I really also do a lot of unique, complicated jumbo loans. So it's really fun. I kind of run the whole gamut, but I love it. I love helping people, and every single transaction you learn something, you get to know people, and you get to be a part of their lives, and that's exciting. So
absolutely. Well, we are glad to have you. Fannie Mae, let's hear from you. What brought you into the mortgage space and industry, and what taught you about the Spark program?
Well, for me, that is a loaded question. Okay. Well, you asked me what brought me into the mortgage industry, and my name is Fannie Mae. So I was and that's actually what brought me into the business. Okay. I started out as a real estate agent in 2005. I got my real estate license. And in 2007, I was co-oping with a mortgage broker. And he said, did you know you have the perfect name for the mortgage business? I said, you know what? I sure do. and thereon, I was like, you know what? You are so right. And I got my mortgage license back in 2007. And I worked with him. He was a mortgage broker, and that's how I started in the mortgage brokerage business. My background is I do have a financial background, and I love kind of like financing, and it seems like it just made sense. I do have the name. I have an accounting background, and even with when I was in real estate, I was educating people on their financing, different programs, and I didn't even know that I was teaching them about financing. And I was always about financial freedom in real estate. It was I got into real estate because it was like financial freedom. I wanted to build wealth through real estate, right? And that was my initial spark in real estate, is building wealth through real estate, being financially free in real estate, because it was like you can really build wealth, right? You're going to have to pay somebody. Why not pay yourself? That was my mantra back in the day. You're going to have to pay somebody, pay yourself. If I'm going to pay somebody $1,000, $1,200 for rent, why not pay myself? It was like I'm going to date myself in age, right? Carlton Sheets. I was up late one night and it was like Carlton Sheets. And it was like, you can buy real estate with no money. I was young back in the day, and you can buy real estate with no money. And that was my spark. And that's my message today, whether it's buying real estate, on being a real estate agent or more mortgages, building wealth through real estate, whether it's, a forced savings account, whether it's building equity, whether it's passing a legacy on to your children, whether it's selling it and cashing in on your equity, whether it's, refinancing, because sometimes, Candace, some people will never be able to save money, right? But they do have to pay, right? Pay to live, right? And so like right now, people that sold homes, that bought homes back in 2005 and 2007, they're selling their homes and they're getting a lot of equity right now, and they're able to pay off some debt. They're able to, take vacations. They're able to really have some financial freedom. And I am just so excited for them. I am just really excited because in this lifetime, they're really getting six figures, and they never thought they could,
Mm-hmm.
and they're able to pass on wealth to their family. And it's so exciting to me. That is really exciting. So to actually see that in this lifetime, for some people in this generation that haven't been able to do that for their family, that's exciting. And I'm excited for people. And that's really, one of the reasons why I do this, and I'm excited, and that's the message that I am enjoying to spread in today. So that's my
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. To go into communities and leverage your resources and your gifts and financial literacy and being a broker owner, and get to bring people on board and have them be homeowners and enjoy, again, that generational wealth and provide that to their families. I'm excited too. Let's go. So I'm actually going to keep it with you, Fannie Mae. As we talk about the Spark program as a whole, what do you think the most important lesson or takeaway that you learned from the program was, and how are you currently implementing that with your brokerage?
Oh, I really appreciate the Spark program. Okay, so being a broker owner and starting out, when I received that call, I was so excited. I was in tears, right? I was appreciative of the financial resources that I received, but more so the mentorship and the direction, right? Because me being a broker owner, a sole person, like the direction, it was like step by step, the guidance, the support. It was just things that I wouldn't have known, that you guys guided me. Oh, it was great. Like a question that I had, I was able to ask the group and everybody chimed in. I mean, the compliance resources, the marketing, the branding. I mean, it was so invaluable that, I felt truly blessed, I felt truly blessed and so grateful. So, and I checked all the boxes. So I applied. I was in AIME, but I heard about the program from one of my friends. But I check all the boxes. I'm a minority. I'm a woman. I'm a veteran. I serve my country. So yeah, I applied for everything. So, and I was grateful that you guys heard my story and you did select me. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. And thanks for participating in our Spark Leadership Academy. And we are just, rooting for you at every stage of being a broker owner. Flavia, I'm going to bring it over to you. What do you think is one of the most important lessons that you learned as a participant in the Spark Leadership Academy?
Oh my gosh, there's so many, but I'm gonna kind of narrow it down to two. And first, Fannie, thank you for your service. I became a U.S. citizen back, gosh, now I'm dating myself a long time ago, but it's one of those things. I'm eternally grateful for all the things that you do as service, women, men and women. So thank you. All right, that's going back to focus. Spark, the Leadership Academy, as I mentioned, when I introduced myself, was really the best part of the whole grant. Aside from the financial help, which was unbelievable. I think Fannie is right on, nail on the head there. It was incredible to have the support of the group when you're asking questions, when you're unsure, and everyone chimed in. So we know we had veterans in the group. We have people that have worked before, people that are now opening their own brokerage. And then you have people like me that have been out of the industry for so long. And I really didn't know a lot. I knew it was gonna be a big learning curve. So a few things that really were important to me. One was the mentorship of, as a broker owner, opening up your own business, was really to be careful on wearing too many hats, because if you wear too many hats on the operational and on the processing and all this and that, then you're not selling, then you're not actually getting together with your realtor partners or referral partners, or actually sitting down with your borrowers and their referrals to be able to do what you need to do. And I think that was a really key point. And what I've done and taken that into the brokerage, into Dovetail Mortgages, to really have key personnel that are going to be doing the processing. I have someone who's just an ops person, just handling the day-to-day and the HR and some of that. I'm, as with my lawyer background, I'm obviously doing a lot of the compliance stuff, which comes easier to me. But that's another thing, that compliance is a lot of work. And if you can outsource some of these things, it made absolutely total sense. Because at the end of the day, that time that you're not investing in your clients and your borrowers and your network, you're not growing your business. Mm-hmm. So that was a really key point. The other thing that I absolutely loved about the Spark Academy and just learning about some of the products. Again, I've been out of the business for so long, and having worked in retail, it's very different than the world that you have with wholesale lending, where like, oh my God, there's so many different loan products for borrowers, and there's so many things that can fit for the right person, and you can really help them, in their situations. And learning about VA, learning about other things that are out there that I had no idea, and kind of getting more nitty gritty on some of these, what are the guidelines, was incredibly helpful. I have so many notes and so many things that I've gone back to, and things that I've actually processed in Dovetail Mortgage, so that when we have new loan officers that are coming in, I'm taking some of what you guys did with Spark Leadership and kind of doing a mini, okay guys, we're going to learn some of these things, and obviously we're going to learn some products with the wholesale lenders as we move forward. But that is really important, to get people with their feet wet, especially if they're coming in new to the industry, and especially like me, where so many things have changed since I left. So it was just invaluable. I am so thankful and grateful for it.
I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you. Yay. Julie, we will shoot it over to you with the same question. What lessons do you think were the most important or the most valuable now that you're out of the academy but still working? What things have you been able to put into practice?
So many amazing resources, and I think the biggest thing is the cheerleadering. I don't know that that's an actual word, but I'll make it a word today. It's cheerleading. Because truly, obviously, like Fannie, like you were sharing your name. I'm like, you were born for this. And then then you're sharing, and you're like, and I'm a veteran too. And I'm just like, wow, we get excited. We want to help people, and to see that there are people nationwide helping is really exciting. It kind of gives me chills, but truly, the network and just having people that really genuinely care. at the point that we stop learning, we cease to exist. So for me, I love to learn, and I loved every single one of the modules and seeing real people. And all of those people were people that have had that experience or that success, and they're pouring back in. And so when I'm watching that, I'm going, I want to do that. Like, I want to pour back in. And it, again, truly an incredible honor to receive the grant. And I know that everyone gets excited and emotional, but that's huge. And, and to have that experience, I think it says that I took a chance on something, and somebody, wanted to help take a chance with us, so I get excited about that. And again, all of the modules were incredible. The compliance is critical. I like to say, I don't get to take a paycheck until I've cleaned up my files, because I think it was Brandon had shared something like, it's easy to hit snooze on that, and then all of a sudden you're like, I've got 14 files to audit or something like that. So that's a good reminder. But truly, just to continue the education and to know that there's support out there. But I get so excited on our networks to see when a new company opens and they're like, I just got our approval, we're officially open. And it's just, to be a part of that, to be able to go, yay, like I was there. And every person that just says yay or a like or congratulations, we don't even know each other yet, and yet we're rooting for each other. And that's really, really cool. So I can't wait until September. Like, I can't wait. Like, I'm so excited, just because there's just a network of people that all do the same thing. We all do this. We get out of bed, not just for a paycheck, but to make a difference in people's lives. And so I'm super grateful for all the people that poured in through the academy to give us the tools to help. And if we don't know what, even what we're asking or a question that we're asking, we know where we can go with it. We can go, hi guys, because there's not a dumb question. If you're asking a question, you need the information. So I loved having that network of safety to go, hi. No one's like, oh wait, you should have already known that. So I am grateful for that. That's a huge, as much as the grant, the community is like the benefit of the grant. So thank you.
Mm-hmm. I like how you said that, and the cheerleading the community components. And the goal has always been, as we're entrepreneurs and you're broker owners and taking on the world by yourself, that you'd have a community to come back to and connect with, so that you can go back into your community and leverage your knowledge and what you've learned. And I think it's a great circle, what you can give back then to the broker community and then take things back to your own community. And I'm so glad that each of you are a part of the broker community, but also that you're leveraging all of your gifts and talents and strengths and new knowledge from former industries and currently in your current community. So it's incredible. And I'm just so glad. I'm honored to be able to speak with each of you for months now. It's incredible. Okay, so exciting news. I would love to hear from each of you what exciting things your brokerage has been up to since the conclusion of our first round of Spark. So Fannie, I'm going to bring it to you first. Let's go.
Exciting news is that I am in the process of hiring my first employee.
Congratulations.
So that's exciting for me because, you're a small business. Mm-hmm. And so I am going to be responsible for a family. So that's exciting.
That is very exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, Julie, what about you? What exciting things have been happening in your brokerage since the conclusion of the academy?
Expanding with support and just really do what you do and make sure that you have the support of people like doing bookkeeping and compliance and marketing and all of those things, so that you can focus on what I need to do. So really, like, just having that courage to step out and start expanding. So I actually have a loan officer, and she's officially starting, like, her license is right now in process. So it's like any day we're going to get that email from NMLS, and I'll have my first loan officer on first team as an owner, as opposed to, working for a company and having a team of loan officers. So I'm so excited about that. And she wears her heart on her sleeve too. So I'm just grateful to be expanding in the right way with the right people. So that's kind of what's going on. And again, with the grant, just truly like being able to have good technology from the get-go. That's the one place where I used grant money, was to make sure that I had great computers and the right tools, the right programs, all of those things to make it easy, partnering with the right wholesale lenders and things like that, and the right account execs and all of that. So.
Well, congrats. That's huge. I'm so excited for you. And for all of those technology decisions, I know they do not come lightly, and it is an investment. And so I'm excited for you and your team and the growth that you're about to experience. So congrats. Okay, Flavia, what about you and Dovetail Mortgage? What's going on that is exciting?
Oh my gosh. We actually have had a lot going on. And to give a little background, when I left my former life in infection prevention in December of 2020, I started looking into Dovetail in January of 2021. So I've had a good, 6 months to kind of get my feet wet, do the Spark Leadership Academy, figure out, to your point, Julie, what technology, what am I using for an LOS, and what am I using for a CRM? That was daunting, by the way, and just the Spark Leadership Academy was great with those questions, because people were so helpful in platforms. So I spent a lot of time figuring that out. And so by the time we got our license here in Massachusetts with the Division of Banks, it was end of May. And then we were able to turn on really quickly. So we were just waiting for that to turn everything on. So the past month, which has been absolutely insane, I brought on three new loan officers. Actually, two of them are they're veterans. They've been in the industry, and they really came in from from retail back into wholesale, hearing how much fun we're having and how much we can really take care of our borrowers at the end of the day. One of the things that I mentioned that is missing is, not only the loan products that we can provide, but really that personalized touch when you're dealing with wholesale lenders that understand that we're the boots on the ground, and we have to give our borrowers information and timely information, timely things have to happen with commitments and things like that, so that we are, taking care of them. We're giving them that trust, and then also kind of continue to build that network with referral partners, knowing that we're going to get things done when we tell them we're going to get things done. So that's been a really key piece in bringing some of these retail loan officers to even talk and see, do you want to come and join us and see what we can do? And then I also brought in a new loan officer who's never been a loan originator, but it was a former realtor. And I love that realtor background, because there's a really deep understanding on not only the referral aspect, but really that it's all about relationships, and those relationships matter. And if you can cultivate those, you're going to do really well. And then the last piece is we have an office space that's been a little bit under construction. So I was waiting for that approval from Division of Banks. Then I signed a lease. It's going under a little bit of renovation, but we officially go in on August 1st. And I can't wait for that, because we're so excited to all be together in one spot and finally feel like, gosh, not just Zoom anymore, right? It's been so much Zoom. I can't wait to see faces on a daily basis.
Well, that is huge, and congratulations. I think August 1st will be here any day now. So I'm truly, truly excited for you, and congrats. It's just, everything is so good. This is my favorite part of the day right now. Okay, last question before we hop off of the call. And Julie, we'll start with you on this one. So as you all know, Spark is rolling. So it's not just a one and done. We will be offering a second round of Spark later this year. And to anyone who's on the fence of, applying and whether or not they should move forward, what would your advice be to that person?
It's silly, but just do it. Like, sometimes our fears get in the way, or we go, well, what if, all of those things. It's like, remember your why. Like, why you're doing it. And I love that with part of the application process is that, you know, we did the roadmap. Like I did the roadmap for the first year of my business, and to be able to go back and look at that and go, okay, here's where I am, here's where I wanted to be, here's where I am. And to have that as a checkpoint as opposed to just starting out and going, well, let's see how it goes. So to have that structure up front with the application was huge. And it was a lot of good time spent. So I'm really grateful for that. And again, just like you remembering your why. We're going to have hard days. We're going to have loans that didn't go quite the way we would hope, or, you know, maybe we have a staffing issue, or things just, you know, life, right? Mondays, you know, life. And so with all of that, it's just remembering our why. Why do we do this? Why are we here for? I'm here to help people. I'm here to help people with the biggest thing that they do, and to do it as stress-free as possible, which of course we can't, like, I love that magic wand where there's no stress. But truly, you know, like for someone to come back and go, wow, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And that's where you go, yay, we're doing it. You know, that's the difference that we're making, is that it's wonderful. And then tell all your friends. But truly back to, if you're thinking about it, the Spark program, again, it was named so perfectly. It sparks an interest. It sparked in me, and here I am. I'm a business owner, and you know, it's exciting. So
it's real. And I'm so sorry my computer is dying on us, because that is just a Monday for you. Okay, Flavia, what would you say to someone who is on the fence about applying to Spark?
I would say just do it. I'm going to say exactly what Julie said. You know, I understand that there are times in our lives when we feel a little bit afraid of taking a next step, or we're afraid of rejection, or afraid that we're not going to, you know, get there. But you know what? We're not going to know unless we try. And the reality is, when you apply for something like that and you actually go through the process of the application, it's a real interesting discovery. And it's a really great way of you understanding what your roadmap and what your goals and mission and vision and what it is that you really want to do. And I think, Julie, you mentioned that too, when you write that down, and not only your business plan, but what it is that you want to do and why do you want to get this grant. And for me, that process alone was really interesting and self-discovery, because I realized I really want to help people at the end of the day. And I want them to have a relationship with a loan originator where they do trust them, and that they know that if they're not ready today to buy that house, or we can help them, we can guide them through a process where maybe it's going to be a year from now, or 2 years from now, but we're here and we're going to help you get there. And I think that's what I really learned from that self-discovery process, was that there's a way to do that. And even if I didn't get the Spark grant, if I wasn't part of the Leadership Academy, that process alone taught me that I knew to do, and I knew that there was a real opportunity to make a difference with individuals, with families, and within communities. And I really understood that just by the process. Now, so if you're on the fence, at the worst case, you're going to self-discover what you want to do and where you want to go in terms of being a broker. And so just go for it. And the bonus, yes, you may or may not get it, but you have nothing to lose. So do it. Absolutely do it. 100%. Those are my 2 cents.
I think those are some great 2 cents. So thank you. Okay, Fannie Mae, what about you? What do you think for someone who is considering going through the application process? What would your advice to them be?
For anyone that's considering going through the application process, don't overthink it. Just do it. I was overthinking, and I wasn't going to submit the application. I doubted myself, and just imagine if I would not have submitted the application. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you today. And this is the absolute truth. At first, I started out, yeah, I'm going to apply. Yeah, that's great. Yep, I'm going to do it. I check all the boxes. And then fear set in for me, right? It was like, oh, I looked at all the things that I was going to have to do. And, you know, the person that said, go do it. And she kept calling. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then procrastination set in. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And then it was like, okay, I submitted it, I think like the last day. I did. I think I submitted it like the last day because I was a procrastinator because I had everything else to do. I was still um, producing loans at my previous company and everything. And I think I waited to the last day or something. And because I was doubting myself. So I would just say, keep it simple. Don't overthink it and just do it because you just never know. But throughout that process, what I learned, it was like self-discovery. It was like, you know, why are you doing this, Fannie? You know, and I was overthinking it. And when I went back through, it was like at first I was overthinking. And when I went back through, when I kept it simple, it was like, yeah, they're really not asking that. You know what I mean? It was like, I just really kept it simple. And it was like, it wasn't as difficult as what I was making it to be. And when you think about it, when we talk to our clients, when we keep it simple, they understand. And I realized when I overtalk the clients, they were like, really, you're when I talk too much, it confuses the client. So when I really keep it simple, they like, oh, I got it, you know. So just keep it simple, don't overthink it, take the chance on yourself and just do it.
Fannie, thank you so much for that insight. And you're absolutely right. The idea to just do it and to try and to keep it simple and to be able to provide clarity both to yourself, to, you know, the different potential, you know, clients that you would bring on or employees, that you are so clear on your mission and almost an elevator pitch of this is who I am, this is who I want to be, and this is how I will serve both my borrowers, my community, and my employees. And going through that process is really impactful. So thank you. And thank you to each of you who have joined us today for this week's Women's Growth Series. And thanks for, again, using your experience to bring other women alongside you and say, hey, you can do this too, apply, change the future of your brokerage, and take a chance on yourself. So thank you, thank you, thank you. For those tuning in, be sure to tune in next week for hearing from women in our member committees and the leadership and the direction that those committees are heading in. So again, to Julie and Flavia and Fannie Mae, thank you for joining us. Thank you for participating in the Spark Leadership Academy. And we just wish you all the best in the future with your brokerages. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.